joined us. It wasn't you at home. Good morning, you at home. It was him, as usual. Should we have a quick look at the papers before Kate gets her own back? The Guardian. David Cameron's fight back hit by poll slump. Labour 8 points ahead of the Conservatives there. Claire Squires, that tragic death, such a young girl running the London Marathon. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. Dr. Hillary's got some thoughts about what may have happened. And the Daily Telegraph, secret life of shoe bomber funded by the taxpayer. This is a terrorist who turned supergrass and was set up in a home with an office because of that. And they're suggesting that's, of course, all our money that did that.
Controversial stance from a Google executive makes the front page of the Mail, saying that it's a myth that laws can protect children from adult sites online, and it's all up to the parents. Meanwhile, the Sun, we'll see more of this through the show. Fabrice Muamba has been speaking. The Sun, for today's issue, have been speaking to his fiancée Shauna, and his son was actually in the crowd when he collapsed on the football pitch, and apparently said to his mum, "Daddy's frozen." So that's the front page of the Sun this morning.
Thank goodness it all turned out well.
Happy ending for what recovery is making. So Kate, what have you got for us?
Right, the first story that I've picked out is from page 27 of the Daily Mail. This is antiques expert Dr. Lucy Worsley, who says, "I have been educated out of the natural reproductive function." So she's become a bit of a poster girl for women that are choosing not to have children. And the reason I picked this particular story is I actually am in that category at the moment. I know I'm only 30, and people say to me all the time, "You'll change your mind," and I reserve the right to do that, but as I feel at the moment, I really don't think that kids are for me, and it sometimes feels a bit of a taboo and like you're a little bit abnormal, so it's really quite nice to have people like Dr. Lucy Worsley standing up and saying, "I don't want children." It gives you more of a choice, really.
Yeah, so some people are often made to feel that they're kind of either inadequate or haven't got a full life, they haven't got children, which is clearly
I mean, I love kids, and lots of my friends are having children at the moment or pregnant, and I really enjoy being around them, but I just don't seem to have that maternal instinct. And one of my friends even said, "Oh, you're that anti-female." Somebody else said, "You must be with the wrong person because you don't want kids." And you know, when you have got people that say, actually, it is a choice, and people like Helen Mirren, I mean, you know, fabulous role model for choosing not to have children, but I don't think it's I've been educated out of the reproductive system. I think it's maybe that much to be busy and
and you'll make a cracking godmother.
Well,
Nothing like the woman without children to spoil your children.
I was going to say, I think that could be the bad influence without any of the nasty bit of having to do the discipline and all that sort of things.
If you did have kids, would they eat at the family table?
Yes, absolutely. This is the second story. Nice segue there, Dan. So this is in the Telegraph. Page 10. Yeah, it wasn't it, Kate? I think so. I won't even mention what he's been mean to me about earlier.
It was education, actually.
It was picking on my university degree. There you go. But no, this next story is that children who eat at the family table are healthier, slimmer, and cleverer. And this is actually from studies in the US. They've looked at 68 separate academic studies to find that this is most certainly the case. And we've also got a British health expert saying that it applies in the UK. But I think that's kind of common sense, that if you're sat at a table, you're perhaps more likely to be eating a proper meal rather than just grabbing some kind of junk food or takeaway on the go. Your parents are there to make sure that you eat up all your greens and you don't just feed them to the dog behind the sofa. And I think it's just good in general to have that chat and have that family time. And even though there's only me and Philip at home, I'm still a fan of sitting at the table and doing it the proper way. So I like that story.
Yeah, very good. And of course, I think we're all thinking about Claire Squires, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean,
it's just so shocking.
It's shocking. It's absolutely tragic. It's a fabulous tribute that donations to her chosen charity, the Samaritans, were up to about the £220,000 mark. But I mean, it's just such a sad story, and you know, you can't help but think about her poor parents, who of course lost one of her siblings 10 years ago, her brother, which was one of the reasons that Claire was running the race to raise money for the Samaritans, which, you know, was a tribute to him. So it's fabulous that she's been able to leave such a great legacy, but it's just so shocking seeing all the photographs of her looking so fit and healthy and vibrant and beautiful, and to think that, you know, that's happened, it's really difficult to get your head around. It's very sad.
You're right, I think we're all finding that.
Kate, thanks so much indeed. The story's being reported heavily in the papers, of course, which
Yeah,
is doing the cause no end of good as well. So Claire's story has inspired tens of thousands of us, not only in this country,